Hi everyone, I'm Law of the West, and in this video I'm going to be making comparisons between the three light fighters that are available in game right now. These ships are the Anvil Arrow, the Aegis Gladius, and the Asperia Blade. The Aegis Gladius is the tried and true light military fighter, whose use dates all the way back to the days of the Messer regime. The Arrow is Anvil Aeronautics' answer to the Gladius, which is designed to have comparable statistics to it while maintaining a lower overhead cost. The Asperia Blade is a faithful reproduction of the Vanduul light fighter, with the only difference being the cockpit, which has been modified to fit a human pilot. I'm going to be looking at the differences between these ships with regards to their firepower, speed, maneuverability, missile loadouts, default weaponry, and some general tactics are employed by each. Let's start out by comparing the ship's SCM, afterburner, and maneuverability speeds. The fastest in a straight line is going to be the Blade, which has an SCM speed of 290. Next is the Gladius, which comes close to matching it, having an SCM speed of 280, but has a quicker acceleration due to its twin engines. And in last place is the Arrow with an SCM speed of 270. It should be noted that these speeds are very close to one another, and although the Arrow may be trailing behind in this category, it's not by much. Now, with regards to afterburner speeds, both the Gladius and the Arrow match up evenly with a speed of 1,235. While the Blade has an afterburner speed of 1,240, which once again is the fastest, but not by a whole lot. When it comes to sheer maneuverability speeds, there's too many separate statistics to compare them all line for line, so I'm going to generalize it out for you. The Gladius has an advantage over the Blade in all regards when it comes to pitch, yaw, roll, and in its X, Y, and Z acceleration. The exact maneuvering speeds for the Arrow were not available at the time this video was made, but based on the ship's description, it's going to outperform the Gladius in terms of its pitch, yaw, and roll, but by how much, still remains to be seen. The default weapon loadout for these ships are very different from one another. The Arrow comes with a fully gimbaled allotment of weapons with two size 1s mounted onto a size 3 dorsal turret, and two gimbaled size 2 guns mounted under each wing. All three of these gimbaled mounts can be swapped out for a fixed size 3 weapon. Two size 1 weapons by nature will have a slightly higher DPS than a size 2 gun that comes from the same family of weapons, but consequently a size 2 gun should have a better performance, lower EM and IR signatures, draws less energy, and will have a better range than the pair of size 1s. The Gladius comes with 3 fixed size 3 weapons by default, which you can swap out for 3 gimbaled size 2s if you want to increase your firing radius at the expense of firepower. The Blade has 4 size 3 weapon hardpoints, 2 of which comes installed with a fixed size 3 plasma autocannon and 2 gimbaled size 2 laser autocannons. The weapons themselves are what really sets the difference here. As of right now, the player cannot remove or replace them, but they're powerful, they don't require ammunition, and they have the penetrating power of a ballistics weapon. They also have a slow rate of fire and are prone to overheating. The missile loadout for the Blade also differs from the others, having an allotment of 8 size 1 missiles. The Arrow comes with 6 size 2s, and the Gladius comes with 4 size 2s and 2 size 3s. Each of these ships represents a different playstyle, with the Blade being the precision hard hitter. The Arrow has the most nimble range of motion and widest firing arc, and the Gladius is the most versatile of the three. So to summarize, the Blade can outshoot, the Arrow can outmaneuver, and the Gladius can outperform. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that none of the small fighters are in and of themselves supposed to be a one-man army. They're meant to hunt in packs, and when used correctly, these vessels can be devastatingly effective at taking down a larger ship. A group of us took out a caterpillar loaded with merlins and used them to swarm any enemy that we had come across. You can watch this video on the Krakapillar to see this in action. If something like the Merlin was this effective when using these tactics, then just imagine how deadly a pack of arrows, gladiuses, or blades would be when launched together to swarm an enemy. Since the stats of all three of these ships match each other so closely, the tactics you use in combat are going to be more closely tied in with your choice of weapons. And when it comes to the loadouts, my recommendations are going to be the same for both the Gladius and the Arrow. If you like using repeaters, I'd recommend using size 3 Panthers with overclock coolers to extend out the duration of their firing time. Or you could outfit your ship with attrition repeaters and overclock the weapons and not the coolers. That's because these weapons gain damage as they build up heat, so you want to increase their firing rate to build up as much heat as fast as possible and maximize the amount of damage that it puts out. And if you're a fan of close quarter combat, then outfit your ship with 3 Predator scatter guns and overclock the weapons to increase their rate of fire. These weapons are cheap when compared to other ship weapons, they're sold at Alisar, they deal out a lot of damage, and they're a good complement to fast ships that use hit and run tactics. Of course, this is just my opinion, and there's as many different styles of loadouts to use as there are ships and people to pilot them. Experiment on your own and see what works best for you. So, like nearly every comparison that can be made to any series of similar ships, the answer as to which one is the best lies in what your particular playstyle is and what you're going to be using it for. The overall generalization of the individual style of these ships is that the blade is more about firepower, the arrow is more about agility, and the gladius sits at the center of them, providing the most when it comes to versatility of use. If you like having a solid overall fighter, then the gladius is the choice for you. If you like hit and run tactics using precise, powerful shots, then the blade will be more to your style. And if you value the ability to outmaneuver your enemy rather than outgun them, then the arrow is the best fit for your playstyle. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Thanks again, and take care everyone.